Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robnotphoto.com, and tonight I'm going to be telling you, showing you basically this little baby here. This is the ET65B lens hood for the Canon 70-300 f4 to 5.6 EFIS lens. It's in its sort of closed position at the moment, but the way you kind of do them is you put the. I always keep my lenses in manual focus mode when they're in the bag and with the lens hood around this way, and you just turn that like so, pops off, and then you slide it back on, twist it round, that then snaps into place, and then you can turn the autofocus back on, and you're ready for action. So the ET65B, this particular one, I got from CamRepublic on Amazon.co.uk, and it cost me £6.89 with including free shipping, which I think is pretty amazing. And you may be saying, well, Rob, I know the lens looks more professional when you put a lens hood, but why should I buy one? Why do you need to have lens hoods on your lenses? Well, the first reason is to just shield the lens and the glass from unwanted light. So when you're focusing on something and you're aiming at your subject sort of over here, you want the light coming in, but what you don't want is the light that's coming in from funny angles, because if that comes in and starts bouncing around inside your lens, that can cause flare. Now, flare and glare, we're all used to sort of lens flare. You see it in movies a lot of these days, don't you? When you get like lines across the picture. Star Trek is really well known in the movies for having loads of lens flare, or you get those like round shapes or hexagonal shapes that come through. That's one form of flare, and it can look quite pretty, but another form of flare is where you just lose overall brightness in the scene. If you've ever taken a picture where somebody's backlit by the sun and the sun's behind them, even though and the subject in front of you, take a picture of them, even though you might try and meter properly for them, and you might get the metering fairly close, there won't be that much contrast because there's so much light bouncing around inside your lens that it's affecting the contrast of the whole picture. Now that can look very, very good, but often it's something you want to control, because if you're in a situation where you don't want to, you want to cut down on it, this is where your lens hood really comes into its own, because it helps to eliminate that. And then if you want to reduce the overall contrast in your photo, you can always do it in post-processing, can't you? So that's the first reason to have one, to reduce lens and flare. The second one, and a really important one, is it protects the front of your lens as well. I know we'll talk about the internal debate about whether you should fit an ultraviolet filter onto the front of your lens, because it protects the lens from scratches and things like that. Well, with a lens hood on, even if you've got your camera on your hip and it's bouncing around, nothing can get to the front of the lens. If you drop your camera with a lens hood, that's going to act like a big spring. You're probably going to split the lens hood and damage it, but you're not going to crack the front. If you're shooting and there's like a wall there and you bang, it's all banging off the plastic lens hood, and so it does a really good job of protecting the front of your lens. And I think that if you only get them for that alone, you should always have lens hoods. And I always buy lens hoods for most of my lens. Saying that, I don't have a lens hood for my 50mm because that has quite a big surround, and I haven't bothered getting one for the 40-1.8 because I don't really take it out. But for my everyday walk around lenses, my 18-55, my 55-250, and now the 70-300, definitely get a lens. And for £7 with free shipping, why not? And these are copies of the Canon ones. The Canon ones tend to be about £30, but there's the only real big difference is the Canon ones, I think, have like a flock lining on the inside, a black flock lining, and what that does is again, it's more matte, so it absorbs more light. But these ones, they look fine, help to protect the lens. And as I say, just remember when you come to take it off, make sure you flick the lens to manual focus so that when you twist it, you're not damaging the mechanism in the lens. And then, as I say, you pop it on like that for stories, then it goes in your camera bag, and when you come to shoot, camera out. You can obviously shoot with it on if you want. Spin that on, turn it round, spin it back on again, autofocus back on again, and you're ready to shoot. It's that simple. So there we go. That's the ET65B or ET. If you just search for ET65 on Amazon or eBay, you'll find these. I got this one off CamRepublic on Amazon.co.uk. It fits really well, fits nice and snug. I'll put it on straight. That's better. And couldn't be happy really. If you haven't got them already, get Lenshoods. They'll protect your lenses and they make your photos look better. That's it from me. My name's Rob from roblephoto.com. Remember, you can email me, scalesbridge@gmail.com. If you like the videos, please subscribe, put some comments down below, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.